City of Wheat Ridge Community Development Department. I am presenting case number WZ-23-06, which is a request for approval of a zone change from Commercial 1 to Mixed-Use Commercial at 7575 West 44th Avenue. I would like to enter into the public record the contents of the case file, the zoning ordinance, the comprehensive plan, and this digital presentation. The properties within the City of Wheat Ridge, all appropriate notification and posting requirements have been met, and therefore City Council has jurisdiction to hear this case. The property is outlined in red. A transfer of the property to Foothills was recently approved by City Council on August 14th, 2023. The property is located at the intersection of West 44th Avenue and Wadsworth Boulevard. The area is primarily commercial along Wadsworth and residential to the east and northeast. The property measures about 0.373 acres in size and contains a bank building built in 1973, which was most recently a Bank of the West. Take a moment to go over a brief timeline of the properties on this block and highlight how the Bank of the West property fits in with everything that has already taken place on this block and the surrounding area. In 2004, Foothills Regional Housing built their offices at 45th and Wadsworth and have been a landowner on the block since then. In 2011, City Council legislatively rezoned most of the Wadsworth corridor between 35th and 45th to mixed-use commercial. The city's practice has been to allow an opt-out period after a legislative rezoning, and in the case of Wadsworth, 2 properties opted out, the owners of the former Pet Boys and Bank of the West. The northern portion of the block, which includes O'Reilly Auto Parts and the Foothills Regional Housing Office, was rezoned to MUC as part of the legislative rezoning. In 2002, Foothills pursued site plan approval for the undeveloped portion of the land that they owned between their office and the former Pet Boys building, which was approved after a 9-month review. That is the 50-unit structure being constructed today, the first phase of the Ives. Around the same time, the Pet Boys business closed, and the property went on the market and Foothills purchased it. Foothills requested the property be rezoned from C1 to MUC, which was approved, to unify the zoning on the block and to achieve their vision of a master-planned mixed-income community. A neighborhood meeting was held in November 2021, a planning commission hearing held November 2nd, 2022, and a city council hearing held December 12th, 2022. By this time, the city had acquired the Bank of the West property through the Wadsworth right-of-way acquisition process and has been using it for storage and construction offices for the Wadsworth Improvement Project. On July 9th, 2023, City Council approved the Affordable Housing Strategy and Action Plan, which memorialized City Council's commitment to improving, increasing, and preserving the city's affordable housing stock. Shortly after, Foothills approached the city requesting the Bank of the West property be sold or transferred to them to unify the block. A study session was held on June 26, 2023, and a public hearing was held on August 14, 2023, approving the property transfer of the Bank of the West property to Foothills. Because the land transfer had not been approved at the time, the city, as the owner, initiated an application to rezone the property from C1 to MUC to unify the zoning on the block and to allow the potential for residential development on the hard corner. A neighborhood meeting was held on July 26, 2023, a planning commission hearing held on August 17, 2023, and a city council hearing scheduled for September 25, 2023. The subject property is currently zoned C1 and is outlined in red. The site is entirely surrounded by mixed-use commercial zoning. Surrounding land uses are currently non-residential in nature, including a propane business, the former Pet Boys building, and the office building owned by Foothills Regional Housing. Recent development projects in the area include Foothills' underway Ives development to the north and the Town Center and Town Center North apartments to the southeast at 44th and Vance. I wanted to point out and emphasize how this site fits in with the larger picture. Not only is the site the last piece of this block, specifically, it is also a missing piece in unifying the zoning along the entire corridor. Subject property looking east from Wadsworth Boulevard, it is a 6,625 square foot bank building with parking. Subject property looking north from West 44th Avenue. The rezone of the property on behalf of Foothills Regional Housing to allow for a wider range of uses and to align the property zoning with the city's comprehensive plan, the Wadsworth Corridor Urban Renewal Area Plan, the Affordable Housing Strategy, and with other properties on the corridor. Should the zone change be approved, Foothills intends to redevelop the site as a part of a future expansion of the Ives development. The current C1 zoning is reflective of long-standing commercial uses in the city. The C1 zone district allows a wide range of commercial land uses, which include office, general business, and retail sales and service establishments. By contrast, MUC zoning allows residential uses, commercial uses, or a mix of the two, and the permitted retail uses are greater in number. The MUC designation would allow more flexibility for revitalization of the site and will provide standards for a future redevelopment. It's complementary to the context of the corridor and the surrounding zoning and land uses and provides a wider range of allowed uses than the existing C1 zoning. This table summarizes the current and proposed zoning's development standards. Most of the proposed zoning development standards would apply if the property redeveloped in the future. Most notable differences between the two zone districts include building height, setback requirements, and build-to requirements. The design standards in MUC are strict and include architectural standards and open space requirements, setbacks, and parking requirements. I would like to note that the maximum height in MUC is taller than C1 in part because the property is located in the area that voters exempted in 2008 from the charter's height and density limitations. That means a single-use building can be up to 4 stories or 62 feet, and a building that is vertically mixed use can be up to 6 stories or 90 feet. A neighborhood meeting was held on July 26, 2023 in a virtual Zoom meeting setting. 3 people attended the meeting and did not have any concerns with the rezone proposal. Because Wheat Ridge is not a full-service city, we sent the application on referral to outside agencies, including fire, water, and sanitation, as well as completed an internal review. We did not receive concerns or objections from outside agencies. Before the hearing, the property was posted for 15 days and letters were sent to property owners and occupants within a 600-foot radius of the subject property. Comments collected on Wheat Ridge Speaks will be reviewed by City Council. The Planning Commission recommended approval of the request on August 17, 2023. Which includes consistency with the comprehensive plan and other applicable plans. Staff believes that the proposed MUC zoning is consistent with the policies and goals in the city's comp plan and the Wadsworth Corridor Urban Renewal Area Plan. The property is identified as a neighborhood buffer area and is along a primary commercial corridor within the structure plan, a designation used for existing commercial areas and which calls for the promotion of reinvestment in properties and the promotion of a mix of neighborhood supporting uses, including residential use and office use. The Wadsworth Corridor Urban Renewal Area Plan calls for many of the same policies and goals of the city's comp plan, including high-quality architecture and design, the incorporation of new and existing uses that accommodate existing and future market demands, and the revitalization of existing neighborhoods. The mixed-use commercial zoning designation is appropriate for the subject property, enabling the possibility of future redevelopment, which aligns with the city's adopted goals and policies. Approval of the request for the following reasons. Based on the character and land use patterns of the area, the MUC zone district in this area is more appropriate than C1 in terms of allowed uses for the property. For that reason, the zone change should not have an adverse effect on the surrounding area. Staff finds the zone change to MUC is supported by the city's comprehensive plan and the Wadsworth Corridor Urban Renewal Area Plan, specifically the vision for high-quality architecture and design, the revitalization of existing neighborhoods, and reinvestment in aging commercial properties. The zone change request supports the comprehensive plan and affordable housing strategy by enabling investment in the property, by aligning the zoning with the city's mixed-use goals for this corridor, and by enabling multi-unit housing to be built on Wadsworth, just outside of the commercial core, and with good access to transit and multimodal facilities. If City Council approves this request, the zone change is approved. The zone change would allow Foothills more flexibility in terms of their site plan. Following approval, Foothills would be required to submit a formal application for administrative site plan review for the redevelopment of the property. Staff has not received or reviewed any development plans for this site at this time. If the zone change is not approved, Foothills can still proceed with multi-unit development on the balance of the MUC portions of the block. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.